Welcome to our first ever Long Eaton Shark Bites. So the idea behind this is just some short video information pieces, and we will have a general chit chat about the club and what we're doing and swimming and just swimming stuff related to Long Eaton.
Hopefully you guys can get something out of it just as much as we like to broadcast and communicate as much as we can, so hopefully you guys can pick up a little bit. The idea for this is kind of just to give you a bit more information on things that are going on in the club, but also things that you might see on the blog and the Team Unified page, but like a lot of words in one go can be a bit overwhelming, so this is just another format of ways of getting information out there.
Yeah, we will have different other individuals, but primarily be focusing a lot on the coaching side of it.
Yeah.
But any chance we get to talk about some of the club stuff, it's going to be it, really.
Yeah.
So, as a coach, how do you reckon this season's gone so far? I think before we do that, for those who are new to the club or new to club swimming, it goes in seasons, doesn't it? It's kind of, we're in the winter season. We're just starting to come out of it.
Yeah.
Then we'll have our spring, and then we'll go into the summer.
Yeah.
And then we'll have a bit of a break, and we'll start all over again.
Yeah.
And during these times, we've got different things we can focus on, can't we? So we're just coming in towards the end of middle end of the winter season.
Yeah.
What's gone well so far, and where's our focus going?
So we kind of split the season up into 3 cycles. So you've got September to December, which is typically our short course season. A lot of short course racing, primarily focused on skills, and obviously swimming fast, but doing the skills off the walls and turns and stuff. Then January to April will be cycle 2. So you've got counties in there, you've got regionals in there. It's typically the busiest one, making use of those non-daylight hours. So getting up in the morning, dark, going to train in the evening, dark. So there's a lot going on in that cycle. And then cycle 3, which will be May till July, you've got national champs at the end. Obviously, a lot of the kids will have exams, so it can be quite a stressful cycle. So you try not to do too much competition, but trying to balance it out, keep them fit and keep them in the pool.
Cool. So out of those cycles, like I said, we're just coming out of that first, nearly halfway through that first cycle.
Yeah.
What's gone well so far? What would you pick up on?
So just as in general, really well. All members now pretty much competing, which is really nice. Obviously, in Long Eaton we don't really push competitions, but it is like what coaches intend. So we try and make the kids faster. So it's always nice for them to go to competitions and enjoy it. Fortunately for us, our county champs entries qualifiers has gone up. That is now 85
Amazing.
For Derbyshire's, and I think the 500 plus qualifying times. So out of all those swimmers,
it's impressive.
Yeah, pretty good.
Yeah. I think ultimately we might be one of the largest clubs there.
Yeah,
which is very impressive.
Yeah, it's nice.
Really good.
I think looking back in 2022 we had 45. So to go from 45 to 85 is
good. That's so that went well. We've also done our Arena League.
Yeah.
And this time in a long time we've had 2 teams in that.
Yes. So because the membership's grown quite a lot, we decided to put 2 teams in. Just to, like, if you only put 1 team and you've got that many members, it's always the same people. So just being able to put another team in just gives more people the opportunity, and who knows, they might eventually be in the A team and it might swap around. So it's always nice to get that progression and see where people can go, because it's, at the end of the day, it's another race.
Yes.
More experience.
We've had, or potentially got, the Leicester League.
Yeah.
Which is another type of league for, obviously, Leicester.
Yeah.
And then there's the Diddy League as well. Well, we call it Diddy League, which is actually the junior league, isn't it? So that's for the younger swimmers to start getting involved in competitions, which is always good. And that's at the first end of the cycle, isn't it? It's the first part of the cycle.
Diddy League will be, I think, April 20th is the first round, and then there's 2 rounds in June, so it's a bit later on this year.
Right.
But it's a great event, and
It's good fun.
yeah, we'll always dress up. We'll have orange wigs on there, orange tutus, unfortunately.
Yeah, cool. So we've obviously going to start focusing on the next part of this cycle.
Yeah.
And ultimately, it's going to be counties and other club competitions.
Yes. So we've got counties coming up. First couple of weekends in February. That's pretty exciting. It should be quite busy actually. And then we've got Matlock in March.
Yep.
We've also got Derby XL in March, level 1. So getting those national qualifiers in there. The City Leicester we're intending to enter, and Chesterfield towards the end, the beginning of April.
And don't forget, first time in 4 years,
Yes.
we've got our own event.
Yeah, we're hosting our first competition on the 23rd of June at Matlock on a Sunday.
Should be good.
So we're going to be sending out an entry pack on the 1st of February. So if you're interested, just contact us. Emails will be at the end of the video or in the description.
Yeah, brilliant. So what would you want the swimmers to be focusing on now, coming up to these events, and this, particularly the counties? We've got a little bit of time. It's not very long before the counties. So what should they be focusing on, and what they're going to be focusing on after that?
So typically in January, it's the start of a new cycle. So goal setting, we kind of do it at the start of each cycle anyway. But looking back at what they achieved in December, reevaluating if they aimed a bit too high, but also reevaluating if they think it went well, see what they could change. Obviously, going into long kill season, it is a little bit different. It's just a different way of racing, but like the aim of the game is to still get faster. So doing those sort of things, not even changing, just making sure if they're not getting 8 hours of sleep a day or eating their 5 a day, just those little bits that make 1% difference.
Outside of the pool.
Yeah.
It's not always about inside the pool, is it? In the water, it's other stuff that we're doing as well. Yeah. Okay, that's a good tip. But of course, all the swimmers can come and chat to you, Alex, Melissa, any of the coaches.
Yeah.
And any questions about any of the galas or anything like that, then you guys will point them in the right direction. And the parents can come and speak to any committee member, email through the website, or you may have some questions you want to put on the channel.
Yeah.
And we'll happily answer them.
Yeah, if there's anything that you feel like you need answering, that is acceptable over this YouTube video, then we just put it in the comments and we might discuss it next week or towards the end of the season and just do a little Q&A or something like that.
Yeah, so we're going to do as many of these as we can that's reasonable. And so if you like it, you'll have to subscribe. I've always wanted to say that. So, but yeah, please subscribe. So I guess the next thing that we will be discussing, I suppose, is post-county championships, and then we'll be discussing those other galas. And as a club, we'll be looking to do some social events towards the end of that time as well, definitely. Because we're getting into nights of warmer days and stuff like that.
Make the most of it.
Yeah. So, is there anything else you wanted to mention or talk about before we give this a close?
So typically, at the end of each season, at the end of each year, we'll look back at what we achieved over the year. So obviously, getting this many county qualifiers is pretty good achievement anyway. But also, we keep a track of everyone's times and historical records, and over the last 12 months 75 club records have been broken, which is pretty phenomenal. That goes for 9s up to 17 plus, but also including our new Masters records. We've got a thriving Masters network at the moment, and they don't all compete, which is great, but some of them are quite competitive, and they've carried on that competitiveness from when they used to swim. And just having something to aim for with these Masters records is it's quite a good group at the moment, because they kind of all encourage each other as well.
Yeah, and there's lots of spaces in those records for the taking.
Yes.
So all the records are kept on our website.
Yeah.
Funny enough, on the records.
Yeah.
So anybody can go and have a look and see where we're at. And it's really, really competitive when you start looking at the male and females between, what is it, 9 for some of them, but 10 onwards.
Yeah, definitely. There are some very fast records, and historically we've had quite a lot of fast swimmers go through the club at some points, whether they've come in at 16 and left at 18, or they've started at 9, gone on to further pastures later on. But there's some good names on those lists. So if you haven't seen the records,
worth a look.
Yeah, definitely worth a look.
Yeah, it's all good. It's all good stuff, and the website's got other information on that maybe you're not aware of, such as gala information and what to expect, what all the different levels mean, because it's all very complicated, isn't it? But if that's something you want us to talk about and explain what the levels are, etc., in other videos, we can do that.
Absolutely. So there's also a committee page as well. So if you are new to the club, there is the way the club works. There is a committee at the top of the club that basically make all the decisions, and they'll have a meeting once a month to discuss what's going on with the club, organise events such as the competition we're doing in June. Me and Alex, the head coach and the head of swimming, will be part of that meeting, so we can discuss what we want, basically to put ideas forwards. And basically, yes, the committee is the powerhouse of the club. So they're in there, and hopefully, if you recognise them, then you can have a conversation with them, bring up anything that you're interested in.
Yeah, I'm part of that committee. So if you see me about, say hello. If you've got any questions, just ask. We'll always try and help wherever possible. Yeah. And the whole club is made up of volunteers. That's how it's all voluntary stuff. So that's how we work. And it's those committed members, committed members that keep the club going. So we're always looking for help and support.
Absolutely. And hopefully as this progresses and we talk about a few extra bits, we're going to try and get a few extra people on board. So obviously it's me and Mark at the moment. We might try and get someone else, and we might try and get the chairperson Siobhan in.
Yeah, even some swimmers. Yeah, who've done quite well, or want to have a chat. Yeah, you never know.
Yeah, who knows where it will go from here? But this is the first episode, and hopefully you enjoyed it. Again, if you have any questions, just put it in the comments or bring it to us over the next couple of weeks. And we're going to try and get one out once a month as we progress through the season. It gives you guys a little bit of an update because, like I said, this cycle is quite busy. There's a lot going on. So it's just nice to have a video to kind of bring it all together, really, rather than blog post after blog post and that sort of stuff.
Cool. Right. See you guys later.